There's a certain type of person who hears there's a get-together this weekend and instantly feels their energy drop. Not because they're sad, not because they hate people, not because they're anxious or broken, but because, deep down, they already know something. Being alone would feel better. And for a long time, society completely misunderstood people like this. We were told that wanting solitude meant something was missing, that preferring your own company was a red flag, that enjoying silence was the same thing as being lonely. But psychology has discovered something important. Being alone and feeling lonely are not the same thing at all. One is painful. The other can be deeply restorative. For decades, anyone who enjoyed solitude was thrown into the same box: introverts, loners, antisocial. As if choosing quiet over noise meant you were drifting away from life. But researchers eventually asked a different question. What if some people don't avoid others out of fear? What if they choose solitude because it genuinely feels good? That idea has a name. It's called unsociability, not hostility toward people, not avoidance driven by anxiety, but a calm, confident preference for being alone. And when psychologists studied people like this, something surprising happened. They weren't struggling. They weren't disconnected. They weren't unhappy. In many cases, they were doing exceptionally well. So what's actually happening inside the brain of someone who needs solitude to recharge? It starts with stimulation. Extroverted brains tend to crave high levels of input: conversation, movement, energy exchange. But people who prefer solitude reach their optimal level of stimulation much faster. Their dopamine system is more sensitive. Think of it like volume control. Some people need the music loud to feel engaged. Others feel overwhelmed when the volume goes up just a little. For them, social environments can overload the system quickly. And when that happens, the brain doesn't relax. It works harder. Here's where it gets interesting. When these people are alone, a different part of the brain lights up: the prefrontal cortex. This is the area responsible for deep thinking, self-reflection, complex problem solving. So when they're alone, they're not doing nothing. Their mind is organizing, connecting ideas, processing emotions, creating meaning. That's why insights rarely arrive in noisy rooms. They show up in the shower, on quiet walks, late at night, when everything finally slows down. History is full of examples. Great thinkers, writers, and creators often protected their solitude fiercely, not because they rejected the world, but because that space allowed their mind to work properly. But before you label yourself, there's something important to clarify. There's a difference between choosing solitude and hiding inside it. Some people use being alone as protection, as armor against rejection, as a way to avoid vulnerability. And that matters. Healthy solitude comes from wholeness, not fear. It's the difference between "I enjoy my own company" and "I don't feel safe connecting." The question isn't, do you like being alone? The question is why. If solitude helps you recharge, think, and create, that's regulation. If it only helps you feel less hurt, that's something else. Not wrong, just worth noticing. People who truly thrive in solitude understand something powerful. Being alone does not mean being incomplete. We've built a story that says people need to be completed by others. That connection fills a gap. But those who are comfortable alone often approach relationships differently. They don't cling. They don't depend. They choose. And research shows they often form healthier, more balanced connections. Because when you've already spent time with yourself, you don't expect someone else to fix what's missing. You bring fullness to the relationship. In some cultures, this is already understood. Time alone isn't questioned. It's respected. Spaces are designed for it. Meals, movies, moments of quiet. Meanwhile, in many places, being alone is treated like a problem that needs explaining. But here's the truth. If you're someone who genuinely feels restored by silence, your brain is wired that way. And in a world that never stops talking, that ability is rare. The ability to sit with yourself, to think without distraction, to enjoy your own presence. That's not weakness, that's psychological maturity. Just make sure solitude is a choice, not a shield. Ask yourself honestly, can you connect when you want to? Do you have people you trust? If the answer is yes, then your love for solitude isn't avoidance, it's intelligence. So the next time someone asks why you canceled plans, or why you'd rather stay home than go out, you can explain the neuroscience. Or you can simply say, because I feel better this way. And that answer is more than enough. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, don't scroll away. The videos on screen go deeper into how your brain processes stimulation and why certain routines feel necessary for you. They're not random. They answer the questions this video probably just raised. I'll see you there.